Hey everyone, Chris here. And for the past year, I've been teaching a lot of business courses up in Austin, Texas. And in Austin, I've been showing people how to basically live the digital nomad lifestyle and also the solopreneur lifestyle based off of the $1 million one-person business book. So in this video, what I wanted to talk about was how to seize opportunities in the age of AI, because there's so many things happening that people are working on that would probably blow your mind to know that people are making a lot of money using AI today. So in this video, I really want to touch on how you can get started today, how you can start to understand that even if you're not a technical person, if you're not a coder, don't worry, there's tons of opportunities for you to get started today. But there's also those who are technical, what they can be doing with their time, right? So to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to talk about, one, I want to cover 2 skill sets that you really need to get good at to understand where the AI market is going. And then also I'm going to leave you with like 3 opportunities to think about, because if you're going to build these AI skills, now you need to know where to apply them, right? Because not just building these skills is important, but now you need to have a use case for them. So to begin with, a lot of the stuff that I've been teaching in my classes, one of the things I always cover with people is you need to understand that AI is constantly changing. So what you learn now may not apply 6 months, a year from now, right? Because these tools are constantly evolving. Maybe like 2 years ago when AI came out, people were writing books, right? They were doing children's books, they were doing illustrations, all kinds of stuff. And this is why Amazon stores got flooded with AI books. And this is why so many programs around the world that used to pay for people to submit stories, they just shut down their whole operations altogether because too many people were going in and flooding them with AI content. So that's something to think about, because if people are already doing that and you're just now learning about it in this video, that tells you that 1, it moves super fast, and 2, there are people doing things with AI today that would probably make you wonder, like, how are people even going to have jobs in the future? So I do want to highlight though the potential of individuals to thrive in the AI space, right? Because that mom who is single, who's raising 2 kids at home, she can sit down and show, hey, look, if my kids are going to learn AI, why don't I learn with them, right? What are they interested in knowing how this tool works? Get them to play with it, because that mom is going to discover, hey, this is how kids are using AI, right? This is what they're playing with. This is what they're asking it. This is what they're interested in. Guess what? Now that mom has something she can start with. And that is, hey, here's an AI guide for every mom's concern about introducing AI to their kids. And she can write a book series. She can make videos, TikTok videos, which if you've already been watching on TikTok or Instagram, there's already many parents with concerns about this stuff, right? But what about the parent who goes maybe a little further? Not the crazy ones, but the normal ones, right? Who say like, hey, why don't I write a little intro guide for middle schoolers and for high schoolers, right? So this gives you a sense of just like, you need to find where the opportunities are based off of who's using it, right? So let's take a different approach, right? So let's take that one, how about a soccer coach, right? And the soccer coach is trying to figure out, like, well, how do I use AI to help me with my, my team, right? It's a physical thing, right? AI doesn't do anything, right? Well, the reality is AI can actually watch the videos, look at how the team plays, and it can analyze how the team is working together and give you feedback, right? So now you can take that, and as a coach, you can go in and be like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I didn't know AI can do that. You can show the video, say like, hey, this is what our team practice looks like. What do you think are ways we can improve based off of past successful soccer teams? And it can give you a whole list of things to think about. Hey, here's what you need to focus on. Here's where the team needs to improve. And before you know it, you can go in with enough experience and go in and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to write an entire book, or I'm going to write a course, or even a video series that shows other coaches how to use AI for that soccer training. So now that we've kind of covered some use cases, right? that people are not really thinking about, but AI can do. Let's look at the current state of where AI is heading, right? So if you haven't already noticed, AI companies are releasing tools almost every week because they're in competition with one another, right? And because of that competition, they constantly have to up their game, right? Like Windows just released with Copilot an update that helps basically Copilot control your browser, right? Hey, go do this, enter this, try this, access this. And for people who have disabilities, this is a godsend because now all of a sudden they can talk to their computer and the AI can go in and help them with tasks, right? For that little kid who's just learning computers, having an AI assistant help them access information, type in stuff, look for things. Now they're going to have a little buddy basically online helping them find what they're looking for. So the reality though is majority of the people in the world still do not use AI. We only know about AI because you're probably looking for this video, right? If you're one of the millions of other people out there or billions who don't have access to AI or even the internet still, then you're probably going to be left behind because for me in this world where I'm always surrounded by startups, entrepreneurs, tech companies, it seems like AI is just a part of my everyday life. But it's also the reality is not everybody uses it. In fact, the stats for AI usage shows that only about 400 million active users per month, basically, per month, access ChatGPT, right? When you look at the global population compared to 400 million, that's still not even close to what you would think is everybody's using it, right? Fortune 500 companies use AI, but many of the reports have shown that they still have not seen a big significant return on investing in AI. So they're still playing the long game. So let's get into the two areas that you really need to focus on here. And that is the first one, AI building AI systems and also workflows, right? So knowing how to build AI automated workflows is super important to understanding how to build solutions for businesses. If you can go in and automate a process that a business has been doing manually for a long time, you're going to save them a lot of money in the long run. Now, of course, you also have to be aware that because you're making things efficient, you're also eliminating positions because that company no longer needs, let's say, the 3 people that used to run that system, right? And that's one of the things that I deal with, right? Because I work with companies, I talk to them, I say, hey, you have a system in place. This is where AI can come in and it can build that solution for you. But the thing is, going from 10 people in that workflow down to 2 people helps save the company a lot of money, which boosts their profits, but it eliminates those positions. And that's the reality of what AI does, right? And that's important to understand, right? Because if you can go in and show like, hey, to a small ad agency, I can automate this entire process, boost your productivity, allow you to work with more clients because of this workflow. Now they can bring on more clients, make more money, and produce more stuff for their clients, right? And that's a win-win for everybody. So that goes now into content creation, right? Because if you can go in and automate content creation, that means you can push out way more information using AI automation tools versus that one person who has to do it by hand. So that's a way to do it. But also the other thing to think about when building all this stuff is a lot of these tools that create these workflows, they do have a high price to them, right? I would probably say make.com is probably on the more expensive end, whereas like Zapier is a little more user-friendly. But if you're looking for another solution like N8N, they charge basically by the workflow, not by the operations like make.com does. So that's super important to know because once you understand how to automate a lot of these processes, you're going to be able to help a lot of people in their businesses and even in their day-to-day life, right? So the other part is leveraging your skills, right? Leveraging your skills is super important that I teach in all my classes because I help people build remote teams. What that means is I help people get their first assistant because most people don't have an assistant. But if you look at some of the wealthiest people in the world, not only do they have an assistant, but they also have an entire team that's supporting them, right? You'll never see rich people sitting down at their laptop and be like, man, I need to book this hotel and I need to get my airline tickets going. they don't deal with any of that stuff because one, they have an assistant to deal with that. So once you understand the importance of leveraging your time, you'll start to see that, oh, I have to sneeze. Why rich people get rich, right? Because they know how to leverage their time really well. And once they know how to build that remote team around them or that in-person team, they can get way more stuff done, right? That rich person who says, hey, look, I want to build this company, go take care of the paperwork, go get everything set up. They get way more stuff done than you working a 9 to 5, having to wait to get home and spending 5 to 9 trying to build one idea, right? So imagine you take your assistant and now you pair it up with AI, right? So now those two people, while you're working, can build stuff in tandem with you. So maybe you've always wanted to build an e-commerce store. Now you can push that off to your team and be like, hey, I want you to build a store that does prints, use AI, make all the graphics, throw them on shirts, throw them on blankets, do whatever, put them up on a store, and then let me know when you're done, right? That's efficiency. So now if you make videos like this, or if you make apps with AI, now you can take that information, you can post it somewhere, and guess what? People can download it unlimited amounts of times, and then that helps you leverage even more, right? So again, it's all about leveraging. So as I said in the beginning, I was going to give you 3 opportunities to think about in taking these skills that you learned. 1, AI workflow automations, and 2, leveraging your time, right? And so let's get into them. 3. So the first one is AI automation agency, right? So you're going to go in, build an agency that helps provide workflow solutions to businesses. Maybe you find a manufacturing firm, maybe you know a salon that needs help with their office stuff or intaking of clients. You can help automate a lot of that stuff. So the other one is also AI first business ventures, right? Building a business that's just AI focused. There's a lot of companies out there where you can probably run everything yourself to where you can outsource it using AI. So let's say, for example, hey, I'm going to partner with this firm who does this industry, right? I'm going to provide a solution to them that helps them automate something, right? So because you're providing a solution to their company, that works as almost like a partnership, which goes into number 3. So, and that is partnerships and consulting. So maybe you have a friend who they don't have a lot of money. They can't pay you right now, but you say, hey, why don't we partner up? I'll share my skills, you share your expertise, we can build something and then work on getting clients together. That partnership helps get your name going. You get a testimonial from them, you give a testimony to your friend, and before you know it, you have 5, 6, 7 testimonials, and now you have a full business that you can go around to consulting for other businesses, right? And that helps you grow and establish your name. So to reiterate, it's important to understand that even though you're learning AI solutions, you're learning all kinds of like tools on how to leverage your time better, just remember that in the next 6 months, we're going to have all new tools that AI is going to be using, right? There's another company that just released a web browser that makes it easy for AI agents to browse the internet. So who knows what we're going to have a year or 2 from now, because everything's always changing. So hopefully you found value in this video. If you did, please comment below what helped you, what gave you an idea that maybe you weren't thinking about. And maybe this video helps somebody else. So please share it with your friends. Comment, like, subscribe, do the usual stuff. And maybe you'll find something down the road, because like I said, things are always changing and a new tool will come out in 6 months that nobody ever thought about. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.